I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing chapter 12, so law 12 of this book, which is The Diary of a CEO. I've been reading it for a while now, and I really would like to stop. More than anything, it's because you can't just finish off a book like this in one go. It takes a bit of time. I really thought because it was easy to read and easy to flip through, it would be okay, like I would be able to get it done quicker, but because it's got content that you're supposed to actually apply to things, it takes a little longer. So I'm in the marketing phase of this right now, and because it's a little more like content heavy, it's difficult to take it all in one go. It's not like a book or like a fiction book where you can just flip through it because it's got your attention and everything. So just little by little, and from what I'm seeing, law 12 isn't that long. Yeah, it's not that long. It's just a couple pages. Oh, it's literally 2 pages. I could have done that yesterday, but okay. Let's get into it. I also feel like maybe I should start with something next time, like welcome to chapters with Cham. I think that's a little more appropriate. So next video I'll try it. Let's see how I go. I've decided to go ahead with law 13 as well. It's not that long, but I was thinking if I can read a couple pages, I can read a few more. So here we go. So that was law 12 and law 13, and the first one was to basically say you cannot make profit or you cannot entice your customers by being standard, by just doing what everyone else does. You have to be able to either upset some people or you have to make some people love you in order for your brand to be a brand, like successful. Because if you're just doing what everyone else does, you're offering the same thing, the same colors, same packaging or whatever, you're not going to stand out. And the example that he used was like some other books that use cuss words on the front, and that's, I think, okay, so here's the thing. Again, being raised in a very strict family, I wouldn't carry a book that had the F word on it. So I would be able to carry this because obviously it's a decent book, it's a decent cover, but I think that's a cultural aspect as well. Because if I was in Sydney, maybe I wouldn't mind, but like living in Sri Lanka, I definitely would not be carrying around a book that had the swear words on the front. The next one but like obviously it's okay to be different, so I don't mind it. But the next one I thought was really interesting, and it's saying how customers perceive value. And there's a few ways that they've done it, and the company that they used as an example was Uber. Now I take an Uber almost every single day, and obviously the customer service that I get in Sri Lanka and the customer service I got in Sydney was very different. But the concept is obviously still the same. I have my Uber app, I put my location through, I track it, like I see if it's 2 minutes, I know what time I need to go down, but I'm always watching it. And if it's like a 7 or 10 minute thing, I leave it for a bit, and then the last few minutes I track it to see where it is, so I know where to go. And apparently these were all calculated to reduce the anxiety. That's the best way I can put it. It's to reduce the anxiety of not knowing. So you're always in the loop, you're always in the know-how, and that's how Uber continues to attract people, because it's the guarantee, like your Uber is this minutes away, your Uber is this license plate, it's this color, this is your driver, this is how many minutes it's going to take, and it shows you like your route as well. So everything is given to you, and that reduces your uncertainty and your anxiety, so it makes you keep going back for it. And even if one Uber cancels, there's always another one somewhere around. So that's how Uber got so big. But there's also like other parts of it, how some people, like if you're going towards the end of Uber, it's like if you're on a trip and your people are like your driver's being nice to you, you're more likely to remember him being nicer to you at the end of it rather than at the beginning of it, because apparently that's how they get a tip. Or they make living in Australia, I'll tell you, an Uber from like a 10-minute Uber costs like $35. I don't think I'll be tipping. I'm sorry. I was a broke student when I was living in Sydney. I'm not tipping on top of a $35 fare, but like obviously now I'm living in Sri Lanka and it takes maybe like 450 rupees to go from here for another 10-minute drive in an open wheel tuk, and 450 rupees is literally $2. Less than $2. I'm sorry. You won't catch me tipping anyone in Sydney for the price that they're charging in comparison. I will always tip. I always tip when I go here, because I know like the difference it costs. But pretty much this is a great chapter if you're starting out, or if you need to rebrand, or if you need this whole chapter was really good if you're, gosh, the words just aren't coming to me today. If you're in a phase where you need to rebrand or readjust your marketing strategies, if you need to attract new customers, if you need to pull in things, if you need to be different, this is the chapter for you. Like, I thought it was really good, and there's a lot of things that I'm going to be taking from this chapter to use when I'm starting my business. But I also want to pull it into the job I'm doing now, because I work in a hospital and we get a lot of tourists, and I want to add in the value perception part of it to show our patients that this is what we're doing to improve your customer service experience or your patient experience. And I really want to push that through with the owner of the business, but he's a very iffy guy, so let's see how we go. Overall, this chapter was really good. Law 13, I definitely recommend it to anyone that's looking to start a business, or like even the YouTube channels. I thought this was pretty good. I could use it to figure out how to improve my YouTube channel. So yeah.